Hey, Houseguests! Welcome to today's Big Brother 22 updates and spoilers. It's All Stars. Our house guests of the day are Alan Houston and Dan and Sarah D. What a fam! Thank you guys so much for supporting us. We really could not do this without you, and we appreciate it so much. So thank you again. And if you guys want to be house guests of the day, like Alan, Dan, and Sarah, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. So what's going on, guys? It's Friday. I'm excited for the weekend, even though the house kind of like sucks right now. But let's talk about our lovely super chatters. I want to thank yesterday's super chatters. We've got Anita Starr, Night of Light, Daryl, I had it right yesterday, and now I can't read Mom's writing. Daryl Manabusen, I hope. I'm so sorry if that's wrong. Annie Tenney, Jolene Lunzer, Brianna Trosclair, Brant Phillips, Indie Girl, Julie Smith and Nini, Christine, and Chris Carlberg. Thank you all so much for the support. We really, really do appreciate it. And you're awesome. All right. So let's get started. We've got some things to discuss. So last night, Nicole was evicted by a vote of 10-2, and this was a little bit surprising. Like, I had a feeling it wouldn't be a unanimous vote, because we know that Kevin voted for Nicole to stay. They were really close. He said until the wheels fall off, so I guess they fell off now. That's sad. But what was up with Enzo's vote? I thought maybe like Janelle or Kaysar would throw her a sympathy vote. But what was that? Is he just like a Nicole fan, or was he trying to stir up some chaos, or did he just like forget where he was? Like, what was that? I don't know. Hi, welcome. I'm not really sure what that was, but it was interesting. It seems like nobody's really sweating it that much, though, so I don't think it's really going to have much of an impact on this week. All right. So then Tyler won HOH. We saw that. As much as I love Tyler, and I really do love Tyler, I'm rooting for him. I think he's great. This is not the time, Tyler. Why did you do that? Hey, Bonnie Perkins. Hey, everybody. Why would you do that? We don't need it. Janelle was off by 1 point. That makes it hurt even more. It was such a bummer. But anyway, the feeds came back after the show, and they were only on for like 2 or 3 minutes before they went off again, which was really strange. But the show also was pre-recorded again. So when the feeds came back, it's not like it was right after the show ended. This was like a while after. So when the feeds did come back, Janelle and Bailey were prepping their beds in the have-not room. Christmas was helping them set up. So obviously they've had the have-not exchange during this time, like from when the show ended and when the feeds came back on. We also find out that Enzo and Cody are the other two have-nots for the week. So it's like all very relaxed and stuff. But then when you look at the other cameras, there was definitely some drama going on. So Nicole and Ian, we only have to say Nicole now, not Nicole F or you, Nicole. That's so weird. I'm going to have to get used to that. But Nicole and Ian were in the bathroom, and it sounds like Nicole shared some words with Janelle in front of everybody when she chose her to be a have-not for the week. So let's keep in mind, Nicole was like salivating over the prospect of making Janelle a have-not this week. So she went through with it, and I guess she said some stuff to Janelle, and it got a little nasty, it sounds like. But Nicole says to Ian that Janelle came up to her and went, whiny, whiny, whiny. I didn't mean to do that in the Nicole voice. But wait, yeah, I did, because she was saying it to Ian. So apparently Janelle went up to her after the confrontation with the have-not thing and said, whiny, whiny, whiny. Legendary icon, you know. So Ian asks, did you guys have these problems when you were both on The Amazing Race? And Nicole says, no, we helped her and Brittany. We were friends. She was invited to my wedding. We freaking know. I feel like Gabe in that Office meme where he's like, enough about, and then I forgot what the actual word was, but here the situation is, enough about the wedding. Enough about the wedding. Like, we're sick of it. We don't need to hear about it anymore. So, yeah. I forgot what I'm even saying. I'm just so distracted by this freaking wedding thing. So Nicole says that Janelle doesn't like her in the house because of Rachel Riley and what happened during the Amazing Race. So Ian's like, well, I bet you any money that Janelle's going to keep throwing our names out there, because Ian is now under the impression that Janelle has been talking crap about him, which she hasn't. But you, Nicole, really damaged that relationship when she said that Janelle was like laughing at this plan that Kaysar came up with to like emotionally hurt Ian and try and pull him away from Nicole and over their side, which is not really what they were planning. So anyway, Nicole says, I think I gained some respect sticking up for myself. We'll see. We better get to see this crap on the show since it was blocked from the feeds. But she says, I didn't even plan on saying that. It just came out, and now I'm in trouble. She's just loving this whole thing, too. And you know she's going to find a way to turn herself into the victim, even though she's the one who apparently popped off at Janelle. So Cody walks into the room and joins them, and he's like, Nicole, you're looking for trouble. And you know what they say, if you go looking for trouble, you're going to find it. And Nicole says, I already found it. She says Janelle was talking about her every second of every day. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? What has Nicole been doing this whole time? Because I think she's been talking shit about Janelle, right? So Ian says our names have been dragged through the mud. And Nicole says, I've been called the B word. Oh my God. You need to stop talking about that. Stop talking about the B word. The horrors of being called a bitch. I mean, really. So then Nicole says to the girls at home, stick up for your damn self. Is she Julie now? Is she Julie giving out like life lessons at the end of an episode? What is this? So then the feeds went down for like 3 hours. But why? Like, nobody seems to know. At first, everybody was thinking maybe it's like a safety suite competition, because we know it involved like lasers, so maybe it had to be dark. But it turns out it wasn't a safety suite. So I don't know what that was. I mean, I think it probably included the end of Ian's punishment, because you know how sometimes they like to keep that under wraps because they'll do like some grand finale or whatever. I don't know, but 3 hours? Like, there had to be something else going on. I don't know. But when the feeds came back, Big Brother announced Ian completed his punishment, and he did not get the role of Dirk Space Jammer. Oh, man! That's a bummer. Yeah, Romero says Nicole F. the energy vampire. That's pretty accurate. Also love What We Do in the Shadows. It's such a great show. But anyway, Janelle, when the feeds come back, Janelle's in the bathroom area with Kevin and Day, and Kevin's asking her, are you going to start a fight with Nicole to entertain us? And Janelle says, I don't do the whole snitchy, ratty game. I don't play like that. Oh, snap! So she says about Nicole, if you want to talk about me, bring it. Like, come talk to me about it. So she says, don't do the whole, I don't know, you guys. Oh, she did a Nicole impression. It was hilarious. So Kevin says he's still not understanding the beef between Janelle and Nicole. Like, what's the deal there? So Janelle says it comes from Nicole backstabbing Rachel on The Amazing Race. She says that really showed her true colors. So as we all suspected, it is because of something that happened on The Amazing Race. Okay. So then Janelle goes on to explain, if you guys didn't watch that season, there were 3 Big Brother teams. They were all in an alliance. So we had Janelle and Brittany, Rachel and Alyssa, and Nicole and Victor. They were all working together. And Rachel heard that sorry, Rachel heard that another team was thinking about U-turning Nicole and Victor. It was Team Fun. So Rachel gave Nicole a heads up that this was a possibility and to like look out for it. So then Nicole went and confronted Team Fun. I feel like I'm doing an Amazing Race recap. Nicole went and confronted Team Fun and was like, I heard from Rachel that you guys were going to U-turn us. So what's the deal? And then to make matters worse, she went ahead and turned on Rachel and Alyssa. Do you guys remember from that season the epic moment when Rachel and Alyssa were like, Nicole, remember your brand, like your brand is watching. It was hilarious. But anyway, this really pissed off Janelle because she saw like, wow, we can't trust this girl. She is a snake. So Janelle says at that point, Nicole started with the tears and the snaky stuff. So she doesn't trust her in this house. And Day said, been there, done that. Okay, so changing gears, Janelle is then saying to Day and Kevin, the reality is we couldn't get our shit together. You know, the other side of the house now has the numbers to control the vote. Like, they're going to determine who goes this week. We're not really going to have a say in it, and that sucks. So Day says, all right, but if you end up on the block, this is what you do. This is where you shine. I'm not happy with Day. I'm not happy with Day. And it's not because she was like, I'm voting to keep David because he's black. Like, that's fine. But it was just like, this conversation, I wasn't even planning on talking about this, but this conversation that Day had before the eviction, Kevin was trying to campaign to her to keep Nicole, or you, Nicole. And he was telling her, like, we really need to go against this other group. And Day was like, yeah, but this other group has all, like, the power players and the people that are good at competition, so we should probably work with them. And then Kevin was like, okay, but then what are we going to do? Like, when everybody else is gone. And she was like, I guess then we have to start winning competitions. So it's just frustrating because we see that Day has no intention of going against this big alliance. And it's just, I'm not happy about it. But anyway, Janelle says she's going to be super pissed if they try to backdoor her this week and she doesn't get to play for the Power Veto. Right? All right. So then Janelle and Kevin have a long one-on-one chat. This was probably like almost an hour, I would say. So first they're just talking about how they're bummed that they couldn't make things work and save you, Nicole. Yeah, y'all really effed up. But anyway, Kevin then asks Janelle, can I have an honest moment with you? Oh boy, the honesty is coming out. Thank you guys all so much for the super chats. I'm going to thank you all together at the end. But really, I do appreciate it so much. So Kevin's ready to get honest. Oh boy. He's like, all right, you, Nicole, would tell me things that you and Kaysar were saying about me, and it wasn't cute. Because everything that you said was adorable, Kevin. Do you remember when Kevin was calling Janelle a predator? Oh my God, so messed up. But anyway, Kevin says, you guys were forming alliances and omitting me from them. You were telling you, Nicole, that I was untrustworthy. And Janelle was like, do you know why we said that? You were running around the house saying that me, Kaysar, and Memphis are working together and that we need to be targeted. And Kevin's like, wait, what? Like, I didn't say that you guys needed to be targeted. But, like, he did say that they're working together. I'm pretty sure he said they needed to be targeted, too. But he's like, no, I didn't say that part. And Janelle's like, whatever. It doesn't matter. I got over it. I even told you, Nicole, a few days ago that I know that I have to work with you moving forward. So, like, it doesn't matter. You know, we're moving on. So Kevin also brings up week 1, he felt like Janelle was really dragging him when she was campaigning for Keisha to stay. I mean, yeah, she kind of was, right? Because she was telling everybody that Kevin played dirty the first season that he was on. He, like, made up lies to get rid of people. So, yeah. Anyway, they move to the lounge. They start hashing things out, and they agree that they need to work together. But they also acknowledge they can't be seen as like best buddies because anybody that is seen with Janelle is going to become a target. And Kevin doesn't want that. And Janelle's like, I understand. She says, Bailey, I don't want her to be too close to me either because I don't want a target on her. So then Kevin says, if it's Janelle and Kaysar on the block on eviction night, Janelle will have his vote to stay. And Janelle's like, thanks, but doesn't matter. It's not going to be up to us who stays because the other side has the numbers and they're going to be able to pick whoever they want to leave. It doesn't matter what we say. All right. So then Janelle is telling Kevin, you need to work with whichever one of us stays. If it's me or Kaysar, whichever one stays, just like work with us. And he's like, yeah, of course. Do we actually then go follow through? Yeah, if one of them wins HOH. Okay. So then they are talking about how strong and sophisticated the other side is. And Janelle's like, yeah, because they all freaking know each other from outside of the house and they all pregame together. Like, this has all been set up and established already. We're trying to freaking pull the stragglers together. So it's interesting because I know that Janelle came in with like pregame alliances. Like, she definitely talked to Bailey. She talked to a bunch of other people. And they're always saying that she like called everyone. But from what it sounds like, it seems like Janelle was contacting people, but people were not like setting up alliances with her. I mean, from what we've seen, right? Nobody wants to work with her. So then Janelle was talking about how freaking weird Memphis is playing. It seems like he's got very little game sense. He doesn't know what he's doing. And Kevin finally has a good read. Kevin's like, I think that Memphis could be working with a big alliance. Yes, Kevin, keep up this energy. Yes, let's hear more. So he says, I think that Memphis is close to Tyler and Cody. He's always hanging out with them, always talking to them. And he says, if Memphis turned down an alliance with you and Kaysar, he must have already gotten a better offer. Yeah, bingo. Come on, you really believe this bullshit that Memphis is serving up saying, like, I'm waiting until the second half to make alliances? No freaking way. All right, so then they talk about the power of veto because Janelle knows she's most likely gone if she doesn't win it. People are going to want to take her out over Kaysar, right? So she's like, if I get Houseguest choice, I shouldn't even pick you, right? Like, there's no way you're going to use it on me. And Kevin's like, well, it would be in my best interest to save you. But if I did, I'd be disrespecting the HOH's wishes. Who cares about the HOH? Oh my God. Are you serious, Kevin? Stop. So Kevin says, I'll play it by ear. If I get the sense that there's a line being drawn, then I'll have to reassess. And Janelle says, the line's already been drawn. There is already a block of like 7 people at least that are voting together. So no, it doesn't matter. Like, the line has been drawn. So then the feeds go down for a few minutes, but when they come back, Janelle's like, we're getting pummeled. And the biggest wimp in the house, Nicole Franzel, is talking shit to me. And Janelle says, I will destroy Nicole. She says she needs to stay out of rooms when I'm there. I will go off on her. And Kevin's like, okay, well, if you spark up against Nicole, that will make you a bigger threat. And then maybe people will want to keep you around. Because sometimes, people want to keep around big targets and, use them as meat shields. So that could work out for you. So Janelle's talking about like, oh, I could like wait until Nicole is cooking food and like throw garbage on it or like a bunch of salt. That's like messed up, but it's like kind of funny to think about. But Janelle's like, no. If I yell at Nicole all week and like cause her to break down, she's gonna be the victim. And Nicole loves to play the victim. So Janelle's like, I can't be doing that. That's exactly what she wants. Right? So yeah, they wrap up their conversation a few minutes later. And guess what? Kevin goes and spills this conversation to Danny and others later. So, of course, then Danny tells Nicole all the reasons why Janelle is upset with her and blah, 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 blah. She was invited to my wedding. So anyway, while Janelle and Kevin were talking, a new alliance was being born. Oh, no more. So Ian was in the photo bedroom with Nicole, Cody, and Danny. Could you have picked 3 worse people to align with? Oh my God. Ian, why? I'm so disappointed. So Ian says the 4 of us should really solidify. I already came up with a name. Let's call ourselves 4 Prime. And they were having like a really hard time with this alliance name, especially Cody. He was like, is it Prime 4? Is it 4 Prime? Like, what? I don't know what it is. What does it mean? So, yeah, he was having issues with that. But Ian was like, okay, we can extend this to 5 or 6 if we need to. And Ian's saying, we'll just change the name to 5 Prime or 6 Prime. And he's saying that they should solidify things with Tyler and think about pulling him in too. So, moving on. We'll come back to Tyler. But moving on, Danny asks, what should we do if one of us wins the safety suite? Because remember, this is the last week that you can play in the safety suite. And Danny and Nicole will be competing along with Enzo and Memphis. Tyler also still had his VIP pass, but now that he's the HOH, he's not eligible to compete. So anyway, Nicole is then like, the targets are really obvious this week. So 4 Prime doesn't really have to worry about saving each other. It's not like a necessity. It's not a necessity. I'm done. I retire. So they don't have to like really worry about saving each other because everybody's going after Janelle and Kaysar. Duh. So they all agree, like, even if Janelle or Kaysar win the power of veto, whichever one stays up on the block is going to be going. So then Ian, he seems a little bit worried that like, whoa, what if Memphis wins the safety suite and uses his +1 on Janelle or Kaysar? Because he's still kind of concerned. He doesn't know about that 6-person alliance with Memphis. He's still kind of concerned that Memphis might be working with Janelle and Kaysar. So they're like, no, I don't think he would do that. Like, he might even throw the competition so that he doesn't have to, get caught making a decision one way or the other. I could totally see him throwing that. He knows that he's good, so he doesn't care about anybody else. All right. So then Danny was like, did you guys hear how much like Day was cheering for Janelle in the HOH comp? So we know that Day is going to be the new punching bag after Janelle. They've already been talking crap about Day. They don't trust her. And now like every little thing that she does is going to get a response from everybody else. So Ian goes back to the current punching bag, Janelle, and says, Janelle's been throwing all of our names out there. Ian, stop. So Danny is asking, does Janelle think that she has you? And she's talking to Ian. Does Janelle think that she has Ian? And Ian's like, I think she thinks that I'm willing to work with her, but the reality is nah. Then he says, the stink of her is just too much. So he doesn't actually mean she smells. He's saying, like, her stink, when it gets on somebody else's game, like when her game stink gets on somebody else, they're in trouble. So he says, I just like nod along when she's talking to me. This is a friggin' knife in the heart, man. Because the other day, Ian was saying if he won HOH, he wouldn't put up Kaysar or Janelle, and he wanted to work with them, and blah, blah, blah. Stop. But he says anything that Janelle touches turns to shit. And he says she single-handedly ruined Unicole's game. That's not true, okay? Nicole had a big hand in ruining her own game, so let's be real about that. But anyway, Ian brings up that they should, again, bring Tyler into their alliance, and Cody's like, I don't know, I'm kind of worried that it would be weird for us to bring this to Tyler right now when he's the HOH. Like, is he going to think that it's just BS and we're, just trying to include him so that he won't put us up. Acting like he's not with Tyler. Are you freaking kidding me? So I think the real situation here is that Tyler is sick of all these fake alliances and he doesn't want to be making anymore. So they don't want to bother him with that. And they're already aligned with him. So they don't need Ian aligning with him as well. So bullshit. Okay. So anyway, that's where we are with that. So then this week sucks. But anyway, they suspect that the next twist after the safety suite could be like some sort of America votes situation. And they're saying, if that's the case, Janelle's got to get out of here before that because she could easily win that and get a power. And we don't want that. But they're forgetting that if Janelle is gone, Kaysar is like most likely going to win it because Kaysar is amazing. Like he's already, when he was on 6 and 7, he was like, voted back into the house, so America loves him. But yeah, they seem to forget that. But anyway, Big Brother blocked the feeds while Tyler got his HOH room. What the crap was that? I wanted to see that. I wanted to see all the vegan snacks. I wanted to hear the letter from Angela. That's some bull. And it was weird too because he didn't get all of his stuff in his HOH basket. He got a bunch of stuff from the diary room as well. I'm assuming that's like a COVID thing where like maybe they couldn't do all the basket stuff. They had to just, I don't know. It seems like a COVID precaution. So anyway, he also got a whole 12-pack of hard seltzers, which he was pretty pumped up about. Damn, that's like more alcohol that they get in an entire season. That's freaking wild. So I just want to say about Tyler winning HOH this week, I feel like he's in such a good spot with everyone because he's aligned with everyone that normally I would say, like, why did he win HOH? Like, that's a mistake because now he's going to have to nominate someone and make enemies. But if he was going to win in these early weeks, like, this is the one for him to win because he's going to be able to put either Janelle or Kaysar on his resume. And he's probably not going to have to put up any allies next to them, even if the power veto is used. So, I mean, of all the weeks that he could win, like, this is a good one for him with the spot that he's in the house. All right. So then Danny and Nicole were chatting in the living room. This was interesting. First Danny's like, what the hell does 4 prime mean? Just let Ian have his name for your bullshit alliance. Okay. So in the other room, Tyler was like opening up some of his HOH treats that he got from the diary room, and everyone was all like, ooh and ah. But Nicole and Danny were scheming while he was doing that. So Nicole's like, oh, I'm really happy for Tyler winning HOH. And then Danny's like, yeah, but he's really good at this game. He shouldn't stay super long or else, like, we're going to have no shot to win. So, I mean, she makes a good point there, but, like, Tyler's the current HOH, and, like, I hope this gets back to him. So Danny says if he makes it to Final 2, he's going to win, you know? Seriously, though, like, Nicole has such a big mouth. I just, please, like, give us this. Please, BB gods, let Nicole go to Tyler and spill this info, please. But Danny says this house is going to start getting real weird after Janelle and Kaysar are gone because there are so many alliances, so many that Nicole and Danny personally are involved in. And she's saying it's going to get really weird, but she's hoping it's going to stay friendly. I hope not. But she says, you know, just thinking ahead a little bit, Memphis would be a pretty easy target because a lot of people are not feeling him. Then maybe take a shot at Tyler if the situation arises because she's not sure how many times they're going to get that opportunity. So I'm not sure where Day and Bailey fall into that because before Danny was saying, oh, we're going to go after Day and Bailey like right after we get rid of Janelle and Kaysar. So I don't know if she's changed her tune or what, or if it's just because she's talking to Nicole. I don't know. Like, it's hard to tell what Danny really wants to see happen. I guess we got to wait and see. Well, I don't know that she would admit that to Cody either because Cody's very close to Tyler. So I don't know. But they don't want to be the ones to take out Day because Nicole would look like a major asshole if she turned on Day again, and Danny is worried that she would lose Day's jury vote if she was the one to take her out. All right, so then later, Tyler is taking meetings in the HOH room, and honestly, like, I'm not going to break these down too much because most people are saying the same thing. Just put up Janelle and Kaysar. Easy week. And guess what? Tyler has confirmed that is his plan. So I just want to give you little highlights from each conversation. Like, I just have a line for, like, everybody. So Kevin, he confirms to Tyler that he was one of the votes to keep you, Nicole. Tyler says, that's cool. That's fine. I respect it. And then Kevin is saying he thinks the other one could be Janelle, Kaysar, or Day. It's none of them. It's Enzo. Nicole was next, and she was like, sorry for my little blow up today. Is she? She's talking about it a lot. But she's like, I just had to do it. And Tyler's like, it was funny. So then Nicole's asking, who should I save if I win the safety suite comp? You know, she doesn't want to expose anything. And they decide on potentially Enzo because they think that he would be funny with the punishment. It's not going to expose any of their alliances, which is funny because Nicole does have a 4-person alliance with Enzo, Danny, and Cody. But I don't think Tyler knows about that. So, yeah. But anyway, she was also like, I guess I shouldn't choose Kevin, right? Because he might be a pawn if the power veto is used. And Tyler's like, yes. Woo! All right. So then Christmas, she talks to Tyler. They settle on a name for their final 2 deal. They decided to call themselves the Carolinas because she lives in North Carolina and he lives in South Carolina. Cool. Okay. They're talking about how Janelle is the target over Kaysar, and if the power veto is used, Tyler confirms he is looking at Kevin as the replacement. What? All right. Cody, Kevin's not going to be happy about that if it happens. So Cody was next, and he wants to make sure that whichever one out of Janelle or Kaysar stay this week, that they will be the target next week. He wants to make sure they're not just going to, like, go under the radar and skate through to the end after that. Day, there wasn't really anything too crazy in this conversation. Tyler was just like, it's an easy week, blah, blah, blah. But it was interesting because Day asked him who would be the replacement nominee if the veto is used. And he didn't give her a name. He was like, we'll wait and see if we even need to do that. You know, like, we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. That's a little shady that he didn't want to give Day a name. Danny. This was kind of interesting. Well, not really, but I wouldn't say it was interesting. It was just like, whoa, Danny. It was one of those moments. So they were talking more about the whole catching Day in a lie situation. I'm talking about when Day went to Danny and said, Tyler approached me about starting an alliance, and then Danny went and asked Tyler about it. Tyler was pissed, and Danny figured out later that Day was lying about it and made it up. So that made Tyler really sketched out by Danny and Day. But anyway, they were talking about how she really, like, shut down after she got caught, and Day was like, I'm not feeling good. I need my beats. And Danny was like, no, you don't. You need Jesus. Go read your Bible. Wow, Danny. See, it's a wow, Danny moment. All right, moving on. Ian talked to Tyler, and he let Tyler know that Janelle has been saying that Tyler is a pair with Cody. He's been saying that that Nicole is a pair with him, and it's not cool. So obviously he's saying, target Janelle. And we know that Ian wants to try and scoop up Kaysar after Janelle goes, if she is the one to go this week. So Ian also mentioned that he was very embarrassed during the Nicole and Janelle tiff. He was like, didn't we win power this week? So, like, why are we doing this? What is this? Yeah. Okay. David and Enzo talked to Tyler together. And, I mean, I think the most interesting thing to come out of this conversation was that Enzo did not say anything about his vote to save you, Nicole. Okay. So what was going on there? What? Bailey talked to Tyler. You know, they got their season 20 connection. They agree like nobody really realizes that they're working together. And they said that they both plan to retire from reality TV after this. Good for you guys. All right. And then I gotta say, Memphis, Janelle, and Kaysar are the only ones who did not check in with Tyler last night. Oh, snap. Okay. Interesting. So then today, Kaysar chats with Tyler, and Kaysar says, you know, I'm going to respect your nominations, whichever way they go. And they agree, like, they both like each other a lot on a personal level. And Tyler says, Kaysar says, I don't have a problem with you. I never will. So then he's saying, like, I didn't come in here to barter or beg or anything like that. I figured that my name is probably being tossed around. And Tyler confirms, like, yeah, every single person in the house has come to me and dropped your name, for the record. And he says, they've been telling me that you've been mentioning my name. So Kaysar's like, all right, well, I know you guys are thinking about putting up me and Janelle. And Tyler says, it's not you guys. And he said it really weird like that. But he said, it's me. Come on, Tyler. Don't act like you're working by yourself here. So Tyler says, I keep hearing that I'm being linked to Cody and my name is coming up as a member of like all these alliances that are floating around. And he says, it hurts my feelings to hear that. I love Tyler, but like, stop. His name has come up in a fraction of the alliances that he's actually in. So get a grip. But anyway, Tyler says he really likes Kaysar and Janelle, and if they had come to him like right at the beginning of the game and wanted to work with him, he would have been on board. It's another alliance for Tyler to throw in the pile. But honestly, I believe he was talking to the cameras last night, and he said that like Kaysar and Janelle are freaking legends, and he would have wanted to work with them if they had come to him with an alliance. Again, like, it's hard to say how loyal he would have been to that alliance, because again, he's aligned with everyone. So I don't know if it would have been the real deal or just one of his like safety things. So then Kaysar says, I feel like we started off really great, but then I felt like Janelle and I were being targeted, and I didn't want to get double crossed because I saw that you were getting super close to Cody, and I just assumed that you guys were working together, because they are. And he says, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Okay, so Tyler tells Kaysar, I want you to stay, and Kaysar's like, I feel like you're being honest with me, and I really appreciate that, because, I mean, everybody knows that Janelle is the number one target this week. So Kaysar says, I'm not just saying this because you're at HOH, but if you decide that you don't want to put me up and you want to work on rebuilding trust, I'm all for it. And Tyler's like, I respect that. AKA, I'm putting you up. That's going to be a no from me, dog. So Tyler swears that no one was linking Kaysar and Janelle together until they pulled that crap with the safety suite and like saved each other. He says, I don't think you guys even needed to do that. I think you wasted it. Nobody was targeting you. Come on, Tyler. I know Tyler's just playing the game here, but some of this is ridiculous. So Tyler tells Kaysar, look, nothing is set in stone yet, so anything could happen. It's not set in stone, but he like took his little pencil and drew all over the stone as a little like tracer. So anyway, after this conversation, the feeds went down for the safety suite competition. Remember, this was all about lasers. Woo! So I don't know exactly what they were doing yet, but I do know that the players were Nicole, Danny, Memphis, and Enzo. And Enzo was the big winner. Wow, he's such a comp beast this season. Where did this come from? So he picked Christmas as his +1, and she's going to have a punishment. I don't know when that's happening or what it's going to be, but it should be either today or tomorrow, and lasting for the whole week. And yeah, Nominations should be happening later. I mean, I'm going to be shocked if Janelle and Kaysar are not nominated. Tyler said that's what he's going to do. So, like, something monumental would have to happen for that to change. But, like, you guys can check back later if you want to see if he actually followed through on that, which he will. Oh, hello.
Oh, hello.
Oh, Rose, you're smiling. So that is our update for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. And I want to thank all of our amazing super chatters because we couldn't do it without you. Lula's here too. Yay.
All right, please do not knock the computer over.
Bowie, please,
All right,
sir.
I'm going to ask you to leave.
Please, sir.
Thank you.
So I want to thank all of our super chatters. We've got Sam Joven. Thank you so much. S. Dean. Thank you. Okay, S. Dean said, please notify us through YouTube before live. I've never used the community thing on there.
We don't have to do that. We can just set the stream early, but we're going to have a thumbnail.
Okay, yeah. Okay, we'll work on that, guys, because we want you to be here.
Yes, absolutely.
So we'll work on that. We're new to the whole, like, streaming all the time thing.
Yeah. Usually only do it once a week for shits and giggles.
So we're working on it. But thank you for letting us know. I also want to thank. Why is there a square around that?
Because it's like not part of the.
Oh, okay. That's your little notation.
Yeah.
So I want to thank. Is it Traval? Traval K. Thank you so much. I hope I said that right. APB 1969. Thank you. Jessica No E, thank you so much.
You said her name. It is No E.
Yeah,
you said her name wrong before.
Okay, I'm sorry about that.
It's not your fault.
I saw that she clarified it, and I was like, gotta remember that. The charity 123, thank you so much. Anita Star, thank you so much. Enigmat 100, thank you so much. Phil D, twice. Thank you. You're a rock star. John McBroom, aka it's Sexy Ass JJ. I know that name. Thank you so much. We also have
Leg Up.
Yeah, Leg Up. I'm wearing a dress, so I'm not doing Leg Up. Debbie Saunders, thank you so much. Julie Smith and Nene, you guys. You're always here, Julie, and you're always being amazing. You and Nene. So thank you.
Rock stars.
Yep. Rachel McClung. Thank you so much. Another one. And Books and Quirks. Thank you again so much. You guys are freaking awesome.
Amazing.
Yes.
Unbelievable. Stupendous.
Yes, stunning. Award winning. Never been seen before. So I want to thank you guys again all so much for watching, for supporting us. And yeah. That's all I got for you. Check back later for nominations so we can all cry. Enigmat 00, right? Okay.
Okay. Enigmat?
I think so, right?
Because it looked like...
Enigmat. Wait. I can't read this. Enigmati 100? I don't know. I'm sorry.
It didn't look like a T.
I'll work on it. But thank you guys for real. Thank you. We'll see you next time. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Yeah. And much love. Bye.